on board with Cratos. He spawns onto the base. Let's see what this guy likes to do off the spawn.
Yeah, see if he can push with his teammates. He has waited for the rest of his teammates to spawn. This is good, but he's going to be tagged down. He's got no shields, and he needs to stay alive. He's going to back off. Good decision not to challenge this, but Nade's still coming in, as Sims would say, thick and fast. But now he's going to put shots on, almost taking down that kill as well, as he looks for more over at the P tower. He's just staying alive, but look at crowd users. They are just locked in a base.
We're on with Cratos here. This clip is to show exactly what happens when you get trapped in the bottom of your base. This can occur on multiple maps, but Midship/Truth/Regret is one of the worst maps to have this happen. The reason being is because the whole point of controlling maps is to have high ground. In FPS games, you almost always have the advantage regardless of the game when you have high ground and you have control of the top of a base or the top middle of a map. And Cratos does a good job of landing shots and trying to play the enemy back. However, they have control of high ground. They have control of one of the strongest towers on the map. And as a result, the enemy team, Str8 Rippin, is able to communicate to each other. They're able to set up and maintain that setup in a way that keeps Cratos and the rest of crowd pleasers trapped in the base. Now, because Cratos stays in the bottom of the base, Naded gets trapped in the bottom of the base off his spawn. The other guys get trapped in the bottom of the base off their spawn. You see Danoxide and Naded try to move out. They get shot, they get naded, they get killed. When Cratos moves out front, he gets shot up and he's pushed back underneath. He tries to move out to Ping Tower and he gets shot up and killed. It's not that hard to be the enemy team in this situation, to be able to maintain control. The hard part is getting out of that control. It's the same thing as Halo 3 on the pit, when teams used to block sniper spawn and trap people. And what would happen on the pit is that people would block the sniper side of the map so that their sniper would set up in training or on the enemy sniper tower or in sword, and then they would snipe the spawns as they spawn over at Needler and Shotgun or on the platform in front of the base, and then the other teammates would set up in green and things like that, and it trapped the enemy in a lower spawn than your team. So you have a higher ground in sword and on the tower than you do next to the tower spawn. You have a higher ground at green wall than you do at Needler spawn, etc. And this applies to multiple maps across the Halo series, but it is extremely important in this map. Once you trap an enemy here, they can't get out, and for Cratos to stay down here just isn't good. Now you can see he gets trapped here, he gets naded, so he doesn't really know what to do but move out and try to keep being a good support teammate. That's not bad. His mindset isn't horrible, but he needs to get out of here. He needs to get to the top of the base, or a better option yet, as bad of an idea as it seems, it could work to get out to bottom mid. Because if he moves out of the base spawn, even if it's at bottom mid, and he just gets out of there, it actually creates a random spawn sequence because there is no spawn zone in the bottom of the map. Okay? So what that does, for everyone that doesn't quite understand that, is it'll create a random sequencing of spawns wherever the enemy is not, whether that's the bottom of their base, car side, the top of their own base, wherever the enemy isn't. His team will get random spawns, and then the first person that spawns in on his team after dying will create the spawn zone for the rest of his team. So give you an example is that if he runs to bottom mid here, instead of jumping out and jumping back under the base, if he proceeds to go to bottom mid right here, whether he stays alive or not, if Naded dies and respawns over at, say, car or Str8 Rippin base, then when Cratos respawns and Danoxide respawns, they will spawn based on where Naded's respawn is. So let's just say he spawns in the bottom of Str8 Rippin base. Naded spawns there, Danoxide and Cratos will have an opportunity to spawn at the top or bottom of that base, and Str8 Rippin is still looking at the base that Cratos is at now. So it'll give them a chance to move to the top of the base, move to car spawn, come up behind pink side. In essence, it's kind of a suicide respawn, but the suicide respawn works in the effect that it moves your spawn away from the trap. You have to know when to make moves like that. Again, this wasn't horrible because Cratos was landing very good shots, so credit to him, but he definitely should have moved out and found a different way other than repeatedly going underneath the base, because that turns into a slaughter zone. Think of it like shutout, lockout, blackout, depending on what game you're on, and going down to S1. You're not getting out of there, or for the bottom of the lift on those maps. You're not going to get out of there very easily. You're just going to be trapped and be naded and sniped and whatever else. And that's exactly what's going on here, is that they're getting pistoled, they're getting BR'd, they're getting naded, and they're being trapped repeatedly because Str8 Rippin was absolutely on fire this tournament for teamwork.
And Str8 are just laying down as many shots as they want.
And not only that, but we see the young god himself grab the camouflage right on cue, picks up the storm rifle, bottom mid. We know how deadly this can be. Alex did not pick up the plasma pistol, only because that green glow kind of gives away your camo, and it also has a pretty damn solid audio cue to give away your location. So here he is, grabbing storm rifle and now carbine. Let's see if he goes for the triple. Dude, I love this guy. I say it every event, but this guy makes just incredible plays as a Slayer that you don't see players outside of top 3 teams do. I mean, for that guy not to go for the triple right there, the self-discipline that he has with camo, storm rifle, and carbine, I wish I could pick him up.
Yeah, I think this is what we should expect from the top players, really, not to go for those flashy plays. They're more than happy to back off. They know their teammates can finish off their kills, as now Ace is just roaming around top middle. He's got a sword as well, and he is going to push in. Doesn't even need the sword, just gets the back smack. Doesn't quite find the second. Renegade was actually the one who finished off Naded there. But look at this difference. 12 kill lead now for Str8 Rippin. They are hungry for...
Now, anyone who wants to learn how to play like a team and dominate in Halo 5, these guys put it on display yet again. And you heard Ghost talking about in the pre-clip about how Renegade is using this camo. It is, again, much like Eco on Eden, it is a near perfectly well done use of the camo on this map. And what you were hearing Ghost talk about when he picked up the camo with the plasma pistol is that when he picks up the storm rifle here, it doesn't make a very loud noise. It doesn't have a glow to it. It doesn't have an effect until you actually use it. So when he picks this up, he takes that, stutter steps, makes his way to cover. Okay, I can't express how important this is to make your way to cover. The reason being is because if someone knows that you've picked it up and they know you're at bottom mid, all they have to do is spam a bunch of nades down there and hit you, affect you, make you visible, and then the rest of the team can take you out, because then you become the #1 priority for the enemy team, because you can have the biggest impact on the game for up to a minute, and if they can't find you, they can't kill you, then you're going to continue to be detrimental to their game plan. So he stutter steps, goes undercover, sees the plasma pistol, but avoids it, because if he charges that up, the enemy team's going to hear him, they're going to see him, and they're going to be able to dodge that, depending on the location. Obviously, they can get behind a wall, blah, blah, but they could potentially dodge it. With the storm rifle, he can get up close, he can do serious damage when he wants to be seen, when he wants to be known, and not until that point in time. So it's a very smart move. The other thing he's doing is keeping the storm rifle out. He's not switching to his pistol because he knows that he's going to be in an up-close battle. So my big complaint about so many people in Halo 5 is that they're constantly walking around with the pistol, and then when they're cutting corners on the rig or on Truth or on Eden, they're in an up-close 5 to 10 to 15-foot battle and trying to use the pistol. The AR is overpowered in Halo 5 for a reason. Stop running around with the pistol, everyone. If you're going to be in a situation where you're in a long range, for example, if you're on rocket spawn on Eden or Empire, or if you're on the rig and you're at Nest and you're at basement, things like that, use the pistol, carbine, BR. If you're on Ping 2 and Car 2 on this map, pull out the pistol or one of the ranged weapons. Don't be walking around corners with a pistol. It's just, you're going to lose those battles. Just be smart about it. So here he uses the right weapon, keeps it out, he stays quiet by not running up the ramp here, and by climbing up the ledge here, he again stays quiet and prepares himself for a very fast close range battle and gets the advantage. The guy's already weak, and as soon as he sees those bullets coming out from Renegade, he tries to dodge. But because he's already down shields from who's ever at car, which is most likely Hines, he tries to dodge it and runs into the wall because it's a quick reaction, and he doesn't exactly know whether he's at the ledge or at the wall. He gets caught on the wall, Renegade gets the advantage. So here, another guy jumps up, but because he doesn't see Renegade right away, his best assumption is that Str8 was just killed by the guy at car. Well, that's great for Str8. It sucks for CP because he didn't see him, he didn't know he was there, so it's an almost 1.2 second kill for Renegade, if not faster, because he has the storm rifle and he knows he doesn't have to put a whole lot of ammo into the enemy in order to pull off the kill and walk away without being damaged. He picks up the carbine from Str8, which, as I just got done saying, don't use the AR or the storm rifle up close. Use the pistol, carbine, BR at a middle to long range scenario. He had the pistol, but the carbine was there. The carbine's faster, stronger, so he uses that. Here, he has the wits to know that he's at a disadvantage because he already had a bullet taken out of him. So he sets himself up here to be able to sneak up behind this little corner and call out to his teammates, whether it's Aaron, aka Ace, or Richie, aka Hines, at car to assist him. Ace is coming in the front of the base. So he's got a perfect setup from his teammates, from support, to not have to be a greedy turd and take the triple. So many kids think that making a triple kill in a tournament, or any gameplay for that matter, is the only thing that matters. If you're going to go for that triple and you're going to go for the overkill, it better be worth it, because if you get that many kills in a game, that means that the enemy has that many spawns back to back to back to back, and if you're not set up for that, you're screwing your team. Not to mention that if you die, if Renegade dies here, instead of getting the triple, then Str8 Rippin is down a player. He plays it perfectly, and you heard Ghost talking about it in the pre-clip, about how genius it is that he's able to have enough practice to know that, hey, I dropped this guy's shields, I see my teammates are helping me, gets out of the way, lets his teammates finish, he stays alive, the rest of Str8 stays alive, and he regains position and control. This is what I try to train to all of my teammates, but it's what I've been teaching people since the Halo 2 days, that going for that multi-kill only serves a purpose if you're truly set up for it and you're truly going to have support to reposition yourself. Now, what I really liked about this is that what a lot of people may not have just seen in that sequence right there is after Renegade gets that kill, APG stays up on pink. Why? Because Ace moves into the base. Spawn blocked. Okay? This movement, this shifting around the map is absolutely perfect on behalf of Str8 Rippin. Hines has control of car. Renegade helped him at car. Bam. Car control is ours. APG moves to pink tower. Ace moves in the front of the base to help take out the enemy there, Danoxide. As a result of that, because they just took out 3 guys, they now control red base. They now control car. They now have control of pink tower. They have the 50% of the map I'm always talking about to be able to run this map and run it perfectly. So when he moves out, he can now have his shields and walk slow to regain his shields faster. Knowing that they just took out 3 guys, knowing Richie's in front of him, knowing Aaron is behind him, and knowing that Brad is over at pink tower, he doesn't have to worry about this entire half of the map. Okay? And I'm not just saying not worry about car, not worry about the base. The entire half of the map, from 50% of middle, if you draw a line where Richie is right now, where Hines is, all the way across to pink tower where APG is, all the way back behind Renegade to the back of red base, He doesn't have to think about any of those spawns at all because they have officially blocked every single one of them, and they've done it perfectly. So what happens? He sets up, Hines sets up, APG sets up, and now they start looking to blue base, the only place that crowd pleasers can spawn. He still is camo, so he starts to make a move. Now, the reason for that, the reason it's a good move is because if you have overshield, use it, okay? Even if you're charging in and you die getting a double kill because you just get bum rushed, it's still worth it because you took a 2-for-1 trade with overshield. In this case, it's camo. He still has it to sit up on top mid when they have complete control. Would be a waste of time of camo. So by moving in, he can in the very least be a distraction and affect what the enemy team is going to do on their movement because they're all trapped in there. They know that. They know that they have nowhere else to go. So by being able to move in here, whether or not they see him doesn't matter. If he can be a distraction, which you'll see in a second with the nade coming in, they know that they hit him with the nade, but they may not necessarily know where he is because he still has camo. So he's able to hide, and then his camo wears off. But now you see on the radar where the crowd pleasers are. Now, if I go back just a little bit, you can see the radar where Str8 Rippin starts to make a move. If I had to guess by radar, right now I would say Ace is moving to top mid, probably jumping from red window up to top mid. Hines is moving into blue car, and APG is either staying at pink or he's moving to blue-pink. Pink Street. Meanwhile, Renegade is making a strong push to the base. Well, if he gets naded, then it's the rest of to move in with them and cover his butt, basically. So here we have Ace. He is at car, and he's getting shots on the guys that try to move out of the base. So you can see he still has a back position and providing great support here. I'm sorry, I was wrong. He's on top mid. But that's exactly what I was saying. Okay, they still have control of the map. You see APG dies because he stayed up on pink 3. Now here's the thing about that. When your team has complete control like that, to be out in the middle on pink 3 means that when all 3 of those guys respawn, they can easily look to you because you're out in the open, and if they all shoot you at the same time, you're going to fall instantly. So when that situation happens and you see your team has complete control, always make sure that you have protection in some manner. Go to pink 2. Ace went up to top mid, he's got shields. Hines has walls to protect him at car, and Renegade is obviously in front of the base. He's got plenty of protection. So here, because he sees that APG dies, he moves to the pink side of the map, and Str8 Rippin is trying to keep the pressure on here. So although I wouldn't always recommend a team to push in as aggressively as he's about to, you can also see here that Hines just got a double. Renegade's a distraction. So it's basically 2 guys left on CP for Ace to combat. And because he has the sword, he's faster. He's stronger than any weapon they have. So it's actually a pretty good move to move in and take this challenge and come out on top. So there, what happens is that Renegade gets a great distraction. Both players here are focused on Renegade. Because they're focused on Renegade, as I said, it gives Ace a beautiful opportunity to come in, not even have to use the sword, get an instant melee, turn around, and get Naded's attention. Because he gets Naded's attention, Renegade is able to basically role reversal. He was the distraction, Ace was the attacker. Now, Ace is the distraction, Renegade is the attacker, and it works out perfectly. Now, he gets very lucky here. He doesn't expect that splinter nade, but it doesn't matter because of the team support. This is why I'm highlighting Str8 Rippin so much. Now, again, I've said this in recent clips, I am a huge fan of some of the players on Crowd Pleasers. I've known Brett, aka Naded, for over 10 years. I've known Straight Sick for a long time. They're both outstanding players, and I think that it's hard to find a better duo than those two when they play together on the same team and they have very strong teammates to play the way that they need to be playing. However, Str8 Rippin's teamwork and support and communication to each other in this tournament up to this point is indisputable. Okay, so crowd pleasers were completely overwhelmed by the dominance that Str8 Rippin had on display at this tournament. And here you see again, take out the enemies at the base. They outnumber the enemies at the base when they're challenging, meaning that they are not doing one-on-one battles. As a result of that, multiple Str8 Rippin teammates stay alive after they get those kills, after they take that base, because APG should have been spawning at that base at this time now. Because of that, Ace turns around and sets up on Pink Tower all over again to set up a brand new cycle of kills and control, because he doesn't have to worry about blue spawn. Richie is still over at car side. He doesn't have to worry about that. Renegade is here at the base. He doesn't have to worry about that. So again, understand the control, the setup of these maps and these games. You don't have to do much. Once you have this line of 50%, the game is yours. At least as long as you're able to hold it. May not be all 50 kills, but if you're able to cycle the way that they are cycling, you will have control, you will have the win 9 out of 10 times, and I say 9 out of 10 because a lot of teams fall apart. They were at blue base, cycled across the map, took control of red base, cycled, took control of the map, cycled through blue base, took control of blue base. They're now cycling back to top mid to regain control and reset up all over again. You kill, you cycle, you kill, you cycle, you kill, you cycle. Welcome to the top tier teams of Halo gameplay. And there you see, there's Brad, APG, spawning from bottom blue, coming under bottom mid to come up to top mid. Why? Because they're going to make another push at some point. You see Richie over at car. Brad's going up to top mid. Ace has pink 3. Renegade's probably going to go pink 1 or pink 2. Let's start this all over again and continue cycling our kills. And as you heard in the pre-clip, at this point, Str8's ahead by 12 kills. It's a heck of a lot to come back from 12 kills when a team is controlling you this much in Halo 5.